The Native Americans described this as the river that runs both ways, which is super fascinating because amongst the various tribes that have lived on waterfronts, it must have been interesting to explain to themselves, their kids and so forth, and visiting tribes, that this is the river that goes both directions, where most inland rivers go in one direction. I grew up in a suburb outside of New York, about 25 miles outside, and got to paddle in very bucolic places. And then I went to the University of Colorado Boulder, which is an outdoor city, outdoor town. And when I came back here after graduating, and I'm in Manhattan, there is a need to feel like you can get outside in true wilderness of some sort. And the closest thing to wilderness in New York is the Hudson River, a 300-mile long river. New York Harbor is a tremendous estuary, one of the more profound bodies of water in the world. New York now is known for something different, the most profound urban cityscapes in the world, and yet the whole time there's been this necklace of water around every borough.
I didn't realize that until I think Eric said there's this Manhattan Circumnav ultimate bucket list trip for all suppers and kayakers. Then I realized, oh, this is actually an island.
We try to keep this beautiful. The kayak shape, in my opinion, and all renditions thereof, is sort of the king of the self-propelled travel in our harbor. My dad, Dieter Stiller, imported and distributed kayaks from Europe from the late 1950s to the mid-1990s. In America, when my dad first came, canoes were the recreational self-propelled vessel of choice without a question. And bringing the kayak was a bit foreign. His flagship store was on Union Square in Manhattan. And after his store left the city, I took the torch, if you will, and had an opportunity to bring an instructional and touring program to the waterfront. Your objective is to get back to the front again and not start another stroke.
A stroke?
Yes.
A stroke on the other side.
Yes, you can sweep and stroke.
And stroke.
Sweep and stroke. It's not just light recreation. It's not just a piece of plastic at the family lake house. There is a real and true sport to know and learn should you choose. It's, again, almost like you're a fish. You put the boat on and you become amphibious. One stroke after the next, like a person walks.
To paddle up to the Statue of Liberty and approach it from the water is one of the most dramatic, surreal things you will ever experience, because from a distance, she's this big, and then when you get up and she's on a pedestal, and then it's like, oh my God, like the scale, like, you know.
This is a river which 50 years ago was one of the most polluted rivers in the world, and to see the cleanup which has occurred here is incredible. But it's also been the people that I have met, some incredible people who have said how passionate they are about this river and how passionate they are about cleaning this river and keeping it clean.
The river and access to it is an absolute lifeline to New Yorkers. New Yorkers are definitely coming to the water more, appreciating it more. Hudson Yards is built right on the water. They wouldn't even have dreamed of that half a century ago. I'm not done yet with the process of bringing what I would call a sporting respect to the techniques of paddling. Sometimes your reason for over-rotating too long is that you didn't have anything in the front to rotate against.
Well, it can be scary too. And it can happen within a difference of an hour or so. I mean, on our way up, we had huge headwinds and really tall waves. Roller coaster ride. You know, and they were coming at it from all directions. You are concentrating. Are you still at peace? Yes.